Hi everyone, welcome to Cooking with Chef Rich. Today we're going to be making some more fruit platters. Recently I've been doing more complex fruit platters. These fruit platters are going to be very basic for a total amateur who's never cut fruit in their life. And I'm going to really try to go through everything and explain everything that I'm doing. So you can use this for the holidays. It should be very easy to follow if you follow my instructions. So let's jump right in and we shall begin. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start off with a watermelon. We're going to cut the ends off, turn it on its side, and we want to cut right below the white pith. You want to try not to cut too much of the red meat out, of course. And then you just follow the white line and cut straight down. I use a sawing motion. You can't really tell, but my knife is actually going back and forth. It's not going straight down. That way you can control the knife, and that's very important. Over here, you don't want to hack at it. You want to control your knife and cut nice and straight. When you hack, you get pieces and it doesn't look as nice. So you want nice, straight, controlled lines. We're going to cut it in half. So this here is called a channel knife. You can get one in the link down in the description down below. They cost about $10 or $15. You get them on Amazon. I use a Forstner. It's very good to have. I use it obviously for making lines, and you'll see the effect that this gives. It gives a beautiful effect. The lines don't have to be perfectly straight, and they don't even have to be even. We're going to cut the melon in half. And now the most important thing that you're going to do is you want to cut even slices. You'll notice that the thickness of each slice is relatively the same. And that's very important for your platter work. When the pieces do not look nice and even, the platter doesn't look nice. Now you'll notice here that I'm using my fingers as a guide, which is also very important. Like the knife goes up against my fingernails and cuts straight down right where you want to cut. So you want nice, even pieces. And when I say even, the thickness I'm talking about, you want even thickness pieces. We're going to pick up one side, we're going to put it on our platter, and then we'll actually put the other side on the platter too. So this platter is symmetrical, meaning it's kind of a mirror image. You notice that I'm just pushing down on it, and it gives like a beautiful effect with the lines. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing with the cantaloupe, and we're going to cut right below the green. Once again, I'm sawing as opposed to pushing straight down. And go right below the green, all the way around. Going to take our channel knife and make some lines. Once again, they don't have to be perfectly straight. And just so you know, you don't have to do the lines. You'll notice that the color of this cantaloupe, it's like almost like a perfect yellow color. There's not a lot of green in it. That means that it's ripe, which is kind of what you want. You want a nice ripe melon. You don't want it to be hard like a rock. So you want to press on it. This is the same thing with the honeydew. You want to press on it. It should have a little give. If it doesn't have any give, it's going to be hard. You know, if you press on it and it's very hard, when you peel it and eat it, it's going to be hard as well. So you don't want that. You're going to cut it in half. We're going to scoop out the seeds. And once again, we're going to cut pieces about 1/4 inch thick, nice and even. All pieces should be approximately 1/4 inch thick. I'm going to take the ends off because the ends are generally a little woodier and not as good. Now, depending on which way you go, you notice this way goes to the left. And if you push your hand the other way, it goes to the right. And this is important for your plattering, so you know which way to go. You'll notice I'm putting it on the left-hand side, so I want it to go towards the left. This one I'm going to go the other way because I want it to go towards the right. Now we're just going to straighten that out a bit. And even though it's not perfectly straight, it doesn't make a difference. You'll see that when the platter's finished, it will look beautiful. Do the same thing with the pineapple. We're gonna cut the top off, cut the bottom off. Sometimes I use the tops as garnish for the platter. You want to try to take leaves that look nice. You'll notice on the left-hand side, the leaves don't look nice. On the right-hand side, the leaves do look nice. So I'm going to use the right-hand side. I'm going to go over to the sink and wash it because very often these are somewhat dirty. So you do want it to be clean. You'll notice that some of the middle ones are coming out. Those are just going to take off, which is fine. I'm going to put that at the top of the platter. And that's going to be kind of like a garnish, if you will. We're going to do the same thing with the pineapple that we did with the other melons, and we're going to cut right below the eyes for the brown spots. We're going to cut it in half. Now we're going to V out the core, which is just basically cutting like a V. You don't want to go too far down because what will happen is the pineapple will actually just cut in half, and you don't want that. You want to keep it whole. So once again, you want a very controlled knife motion. And we're going to do the same thing with the other one. Cutting a V shape. Also very, very controlled. We'll turn it the other way and do the same thing. And you notice that the core should come right out. Now once again, we're going to cut 1/4 inch thick, nice and controlled, using my fingers as a guide. And slicing even is very important. You want to concentrate on slicing it even. Doesn't matter how fast you go, you want nice even slices. And once again, depending on which way you push it, it'll go to the right or the left. Being that this is going in the middle, it doesn't make a difference which way it goes. And you'll see that it's not perfectly straight. Once you put the berries on, you're not going to notice that it's not perfectly straight. It'll still look very nice. You want to make sure that you wash your berries. If you're doing the platter, if you're using it immediately, you can put the berries on. If you're preparing it the day before and using it the next day, always put the berries on last minute because the berries, once you wash them, they get very soft very quickly. The grapes, we're going to cut into little bunches so people can just grab a small bunch. And I'm using red and green grapes. You can use just red or just green, whatever your preference is. At the very, very end, I'm going to try to just make sure that there's no stems showing from the grapes or very little stems because the stems don't look nice. You'll notice over here I'm putting on strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries, which gives great color. Alternating raspberries and blackberries is something I do very often. It just gives like a very, very nice, what we call shock value to the platter. And put some blueberries on, and voila, you have a fruit platter. Very, very simple. Looks gorgeous. People will be very, very impressed with it. Very, very simple to do. And this platter takes me normally about 10 to 15 minutes to make, something like this. And that platter will feed anywhere between 25 and 35, even 40 people. So now I'm going to show you some very, very basic garnishes. We're going to start off with the kiwi. We're going to do just a series of V cuts. And just keep going. You want to go at least halfway into the kiwi. And just keep cutting V's all the way around. When you get to the end, you want to notice where they are going to meet and then concentrate on making sure that it's a nice even, that it's cut very even. So you'll notice that my kiwi didn't come apart. That means I have to go in a little bit deeper. Ah, there it goes. So we're going to put a kiwi right in the middle. And you can do that with an orange or a kiwi, either way. If you want to go fancier, I do this with papaya all the time. So here we're doing an inverted V on the petals. Just go all the way around. You don't have to do this. You can leave it just as it was before. This is just the way of basically picking up the platter a little bit, making it a little fancier. Now I'm cutting right below the skin, and I'm going to make some petals. Just makes it a bit fancier. You don't have to do it. But like I said, it does look a bit fancier than what it was before. Over here, once again, just going to do a series of V-cuts and go all the way around the orange. And that's instead of the kiwi. Actually, looking at it, I kind of like the kiwi better, but either way, the orange seems a little bit large for that platter. Over here we have a mango, and I'm going to cut below, right below the seed. And this is called a mango mum. Very classic garnish, if you will. Just going to keep going across approximately a 1/4 inch. Now go across the other way. Once again, 1/4 inch, don't cut through the skin. And first platter is done. As I said, I liked it better with the kiwi, so. The next platter, we have the watermelon, cantaloupe, and pineapple, same as we did before. I just basically took off the other cantaloupe and watermelon. For this platter, what I'm going to do, and these are just, it's basically the same platter, it's just different designs, just different options for you to see. So here we have a honeydew. Once again, we're going to cut right below the skin. There's probably about a 1/4 inch of like whitish that you don't really want because that's tough. Gonna make our lines on it, just like we did with the cantaloupe and watermelon. You can take the, I call them worms because they look like little worms. You can take the melon worms and give them to the kids because they like that stuff. Cut the melon in half once again. And over here, I didn't show it on the camera, but I actually sliced the melon and just went down the middle. Once again, we're going to put some grapes on, and we put our cantaloupe on the right-hand side. So this over here is a dragon fruit. I have a red dragon fruit and a yellow dragon fruit. Dragon fruits are my new favorite fruit. I love working with them. They look so pretty. They taste okay. They're not like, oh my God, but they look really pretty on the platter. I'm going to cut some of the any like dead stems off the leaves. You can use a knife or just rip it off. So isn't that a beautiful color? Love the color of dragon fruit. And the dragon fruit is eaten just like an avocado, where the skin isn't edible, but it peels away from the fruit very, very easy. So you can see, I'm just kind of showing you how it just kind of tears away from the fruit itself. And this is what you actually, sometimes when they're sweet, they're really good. This is also a dragon fruit, just a different variety. This is yellow in color. I like the yellow ones. The yellow ones tend to be sweeter than the red ones, at least the ones I've had, generally speaking. Here I actually remove the cantaloupe just to kind of give a different effect. The first platter I did was symmetrical. You notice that this platter is not symmetrical at all, which is also fine. It's just another style of doing a fruit platter. I'm going to add some strawberries. And I always use berries to kind of cover up the lines. Gives beautiful color and just kind of makes it look more full. The thing is, you don't need a lot of berries, you know. Once again, I'm going to alternate the blackberries and raspberries, which I often do. Put some strawberries in here just to fill it in. And we'll put some mixed berries around. And this one we'll use the orange maybe. And next platter is done. Yeah, I still like the kiwi. The orange is a little bit too big for this platter. For bigger platters, the orange works very, very well. You'll notice that I try different things. Like first I try it with the orange, and I try it with the mango. See what works best. You know, see what you like based on the platter. As I'm looking at it, I still like the kiwi better, but that's all right. Next thing, in case you want to do a small plate, the platter feeds 25 to 35 people. Let's say you're only having 10 people. What are you going to do? So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a plate for 10 people as opposed to a platter for 25. So you want smaller pieces of watermelon. If you're using a quarter watermelon, it's just going to be way too big unless you're using a like a baby melon. So same thing, we put our melons down. I don't want the melons to be too tall for a small plate, so I actually just literally cut it in half. Once again, we'll put it right up against it. Cut these in half, put it right up against the other melon. Take our pineapple. We'll fill it in with some grapes. Now some berries. Some strawberries across the lines. Put some other strawberries on the plate just for color. Give it a little bit of a border. Some raspberries. And some blueberries. And some blackberries. We have a beautiful fruit plate for about 10 people. And that concludes our basic fruit lesson. Please watch some of my other videos where we go into depth about other garnishing and other centerpieces for your fruit platters and ways of making them look pretty. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my video. If you do make a platter, please feel free to email me a picture of it. I'd love to see it. Also, with your permission, I will post it in my video, as I've done with some of my other viewers' platters. So anyway, thank you so much. I very much appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Be safe, everyone, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you, guys. Be well. Have a good holiday. Take care. Bye-bye.